Moving colonies on your property from one location to another is not exactly the easiest thing without losing bees in each colony. Because my property has very little room on the south side, and then I have these trees that I planted, and unfortunately I don't want to cut the trees. The trees are there to stay, so I have to deal with what I've got. So here I am breeding nukes during the summer on the east side of my house, and I'm all done breeding. It's September, and I was moving them so that they're all facing the south side. And these trees here, these hydrangeas, have been here for several years, and I didn't really want to move them. I don't know where to move them to, but anyway, they're up against the hydrangeas, and yes, I didn't move all of them at once, but the ones at the end got all the bees because they were facing the east. But what I'm doing now is this morning I just took, because of I moved a colony to my south apiary from the window to replace a failed mating nuke, or not mating nuke, a failed virgin queen getting mated. So I took one out of the window, so I wanted to replace that one. So I took my next smallest nuke, even though they're in the deep. A lot of them are just basically nukes. Some of them are full-size deeps. But anyway, I took that one, just put it in the window this morning, and I slid over to fill that gap. And I'm not going to put anything here because I want these bees that were located here to go here, and I'll leave that for a few days. And then I'm not going to move this one to here yet because I don't want these bees going into that colony. But when I get these bees used to going there, this one right here is going to get, I'll slide this over, and this one's going to get moved up and forward for a day or two. And then I move it to there, and I wait for a few days. And then if I take out more of these smaller colonies, I have two colonies over here that don't have laying queens yet. And this is the time of year where you have robbing. You only have a short window in the morning where you can actually get in the hive. So in a few days here, the time runs out, and if they don't have a laying queen, I'm going to take a couple of these. And then I also have two scoutings that I got to fill in before winter up there in my top. And when I put colonies up here in the windows, if I find one that failed or absconded, I will just drop down the rest of them, and I'll pull out an empty deep, and then I'll put an empty deep at the top. See, these are empty. These two are empty. And then when I put, and also I want to mention I'm putting queen excluders in now because the acidic acid leaves residue, and a lot of them abscond when you do that. But because Better Bee sent me 16.5-inch wide ones, I wasn't able to do as many as I wanted to this morning before the robbers got here. But anyway, when I put a colony in the window for the first time, after I've already done a bunch of them, I put them up high, and because of this roof overhang, they always seem to know they're in a different location because they see this roof overhang, and I don't lose a lot of bees out of that. But if I did lose bees out of that, they would go right back to here where they were, and they'd fill in this one right here. So you're always making sure you don't lose any bees, because you don't take a hive from way out in your yard and just pull it away, because they would be always going to that area. You move them a little bit at a time, and if you end up placing a different hive in that location, you won't lose the bees. That other colony will get those bees. So it's a very simple system, and my goal is to have in November, I'm going to go through and I'm going to assess which ones are going to winter outside, and the smaller ones are going to get a deep pulled away. Right now I'm feeding. That's why you see an extra deep. I'm feeding right now, and I only feed in the evenings because the robbers would be a pain in the ass during the day. So I don't feed them in the morning. When I get done feeding in November, and then I assess if the colony is large enough to stay outside during the winter, they get to keep 2 deeps. But if they didn't grow enough like I wanted them to, and I pull away a deep, I will strap that And my goal is to have as many colonies up here as possible so that I don't have to move them from there to the deck, because on the deck it's so easy, just take a hand truck and wheel them in during the winter when it's really cold, and when it's nice you wheel them out. But then if they're sitting out here, then I got to take my tractor with a bucket, and then I got to load it on the bucket, take it up to here. That's why I want as many of the colonies as possible on the deck. And if I had a larger deck, it would be nice. Maybe I'll build a deck out that way so that all these colonies would be on a deck and I could just hand truck them. That's a great idea. That's the next project for me next year, okay? Thank you.